Hi guys, so it occurred to me that I have not yet done a tutorial video. So, and sorry for the lighting, I'm in my room and I'm using my iPad to record this because I don't have a video camera. So, I figured I would try my hand at doing a tutorial today while I have the time. And what it's going to be is just a ear warmer type headband. Yeah. This one, I kind of screwed up on the top because it was the first one I made, but I know what I did wrong, so. And this one was made out of, let's see, Loops and Threads Country Loom. This is the rodeo color. It's really pretty, so that's what this one's made out of. The one I'm going to be making in the tutorial is going to be made from the, ooh, wow, that's bright. The white Bernat baby blanket. Because this yarn is amazing. I love it. It's so soft. And makes really thick stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to be using the white. And this is actually really easy to do. If you know how to make a hat, I have the Nifty Knitter loom set. And I'm using the green one to make an adult ear warmer. You make it just like you make a hat, pretty much. So, got my row counter. I love this thing. It's actually a lap counter or something for sports, but you just kind of click it. And I don't know why this video is backwards, so yeah, I will try to fix that later. But I've got that, and hook, scissors, and for this, I'm going to need a pretty good sized crochet hook. This one's probably way too big, but it's the biggest one I have that'll actually probably work with this yarn. So, that's the one I'm going to be using. But anyways, to get started, I'm not going to go through the whole, I'm going to tell you the process, but I'm not really going to show you on here because it would take forever. And I don't think my iPad can record for that long, so hello. Yeah, I'm a nerd. Ow. Okay, so just going to make your slip knot like you would if you were starting a hat or however you start a hat. And then just attach it. And this yarn is actually really kind of fuzzy, so you might have to pull it pretty good to get it secured on there. And then all you do is like you were going to be making a hat. Let's see if I can do this. The E-wrap is what I do. So, just like you were making a hat, you go around the whole thing. And you basically make it, I did, this one is about 24 rows. And it's a little short. I mean, you gotta stretch it down to have it cover or I have to stretch it for it to cover my ears. Of course, my ears are kind of big, so yeah. But you just wrap it around the whole loom. And with this yarn, you only need to use one strand because it's going to look a little gappy, but when you double it over to make your ear warmer, you're not going to see any gaps in it. It's going to be really, really nice and really warm. So I've gone all the way around, and you want to go around twice, so just push your loops down to the bottom of your peg. And again, guys, sorry if this tutorial really kind of sucks, but like I said, it's my first one, so just thought I would give it a shot. Just push that down all the way. And then you're just going to go around one more time. Again, just whoop. And all my stitches came off. I hate that. Okay. So anyways, you're just going to go around. You go behind and then around the front. And then back behind the next one. And you do that again all the way around. Okay, so I'm back to the beginning. Yeah. And then you just want to take your loom hook and pull your bottom loop that's on your peg here over the top one and push it down. And you want to do that all the way around your loom. So again, you take your bottom loop over your top loop. And you just continue this for how many ever rows you want. And I'll be back once I get it to where I want it to show you how to take it off the loom. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I was just going to go and finish knitting around, but I figured just for the sake of, a tutorial, that once I took care of the phone call that came in the middle of my video, that I would just come back and, finish knitting around on camera. So, okay, again, wrong loop. It's hard to do this when you're not looking at the loom. But yeah, so you just do that around. And like I said, it's identical to if you're doing really the brim on a hat. But instead of doing a smaller number of rows and then making your brim on a hat, you would continue to do this process until you got about double the width of what you want your ear warmer to be. And then you would fold it over and do the brim. And then I put an extra knit stitch on top just to be sure that it's not going to come apart on me. But you don't have to if you don't want to. That's completely up to you. So you just want to keep going. And again, you can use the other sizes of your nifty knitters, or if you have another loom set, to make whatever size you want. Okay, so I'm done with the first row. So you just want to get your row counter and keep track so you know when you do another one how many rows to do. So I'm just pushing these down. The easiest way I've found to push these down is to reach in the loom like this. Let me do it over here. And put your fingers on the loops and push down. You push more down at once that way. And you get them pushed down quicker so that way you can continue knitting quicker. And then when you get them all pushed down to the bottom, You're just going to go around again until you get double the length or width, whatever, that you want your ear warmer to be, so that it'll cover your ears. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back when I'm getting ready to double it over and take it off the loom to show you guys what to do. Okay, so I've gotten my thing about double what I want the width of my ear warmer to be. So now what you do is, just like you were doing the brim of a hat, you pick it up and start putting the first row of stitches you did back onto your pegs like this. So you just do this all the way around the loom, trying to be sure that you get the first row only. If it's a little off, it's not really going to matter. But it'll just be a little twisted, which you might like that look. I personally want this one to be as straight as possible. So that's why I'm trying to just get them lined up as best I can. And something I forgot to mention in the first video, once you knit, when you first start this, once you knit 3 or 4 rows, you can take your slip knot off this and pull it to the inside, which will leave you a tail. And you can trim this, well, if I can get a hold of the right yarn, there it is. You can trim this and just work it in, like hide it inside your stitching a little later. That's normally what I do. But you can trim it or leave it long. It doesn't really matter, because like I said, you're going to be hiding it later on in the project. So once you get all your loops on, you're just going to knit. You're going to take your bottom loop over your top loop, and that's going to lock it in place. So just do that all the way around the loom, taking the bottom loop over the top loop. See if I can turn it like this. Bottom loop over the top loop. So I'm going to finish that up real quick, and then I'll go into taking it off of your loom. I love this yarn. It's so soft. I found the small skein this size skein, it takes almost a whole skein to make a normal hat. The ear warmer doesn't take as much. Like, this is what I have left. I don't know if there's more on the white skein or if it just takes more to make a hat. Sorry, I'm being attacked by yarn. But anyways, I'm just going to continue knitting around my loom. See if I can adjust this a little bit. There we go, that's better. Just keep knitting around. I'll show this a couple more times. Taking the bottom loop over the top loop.
feature-loaded Honda Accord today, priced at $22,480 as shown, only at your Honda dealer.
And I did 25 rows. That looks like a 52, but it's 25 rows. Because the other one I made was just a little too short to fully cover my ears. I'm gonna make, I think, one for a friend of mine is having a baby in December. And I think this would make a really cute baby present. And then once again, I do an extra row of knitting on mine. You don't have to. It's completely up to you. But I'm just going around pushing down the loops. And if you do the extra row of knitting, you just do like you did before. Wrap your loom all the way around. I just lost a bunch of stitches. I hate that. But just wrap your loom. You could probably do this on a set of circular knitting needles too if you wanted. If you're better at needle knitting. I can't needle knit. I attempted it and promptly gave up because I kept messing up. So I'm better at loom knitting than needle knitting. And I'm sure there are some of you out there that are better at needle knitting than you are loom knitting. So you're just going to knit over all of your loops just like you did to get the length you wanted. So do that all the way around. And that just helps lock your double. Look how thick that is, doubled over. I'm going to have to invest in quite a bit of this yarn because I really like it. It would be really great. I may try this next time to use one strand of the Bernat baby blanket and one strand of just normal like Red Heart yarn, just to give it some extra color. I do have this Bernat baby blanket that's multicolored, and I also have this one that's multicolored that I'm going to be making ear warmers or hats. I'm not sure which. I may actually make ear warmer convertible mitten combos to donate to a local homeless shelter this winter, or, you know, something like that. And these work up pretty quick. This one, I believe, working on it non-stop has taken me about an hour to get to this point. It all depends on how fast you are and, you know, how wide you make this. So, now that I've got to this point, I'm ready to take it off the loom. And I'm going to push these loops down just to make it easier to show you guys. This is where you want your crochet hook. This is a really, really bulky yarn. So you're probably going to need a decent size crochet hook. I'm probably going to either be using this one, which is a, what is this? This is a I, or this one, which is an N. Now these are by two different brands. So sorry about that. Had to answer the door. But anyway, like I was saying, these are different brands, so I don't know. I'm just testing to see which one. I'll probably end up using the smaller one, just because they're easier to work with. So what you want to do, you've got your knitting here. You want to, I leave this attached to the yarn, the skein, until, you know, you get done, so you're sure to have enough. Don't cut it till you're completely finished. So what you're going to do, I'm not used to using my iPad to make videos. So you take your loop. This is going to be hard to show you guys. Where'd my hook go? There it is. Okay. So what you do, you want to take your loop off your peg and put it on your crochet hook. Now, I did one chain on my last one, and it wasn't quite good enough. It's kind of tight around the top, so I'm going to do two. What you do, wrap it, well, if this thing will cooperate, you wrap it. Okay, let me get my bigger hook. Okay, so you wrap it. Okay, this one's not working either. And you want to pull it through the loop. And you want to do that twice. So you wrap it, pull it through. Then what you want to do, where did my thing go? There it is. You want to take the next loop off your peg, put it on your hook, pull the back over the front, and that's your crochet chains. And you just do that all the way around. So you wrap it, this isn't wanting to cooperate, but you just keep doing your crochet chains all the way around. Okay, this is annoying. I don't know why this isn't wanting to cooperate with me, but I'm going to get around to the last stitch, and then I'll come back and show you guys the last part of taking it off the loom. Okay, so I'm to my last stitch on the loom. Go ahead and do your 2 chains. Go ahead and put your last loop onto your crochet hook. Maybe. Well, and once you get it on, you can move your loom because you're done with that. And then what you want to do is pull your back loop over the front, and then go ahead and do another loop, or like you're gonna do another chain. Go ahead and get that pulled through, but this time you're gonna want to cut yourself a tail. So you cut yourself a tail. It doesn't have to be real long. Then what you want to do is you pull that, instead of making another loop, you want to pull that all the way through and tighten it. And that's going to secure that in place. Now this, You can go ahead and do another loop just to be safe, just to make it, you know, extra secure. You can go ahead and do another chain. Pull it all the way through and just tighten it. And then this tail, you can trim it. Take your crochet hook and just kind of weave it into your project so it's hidden. Like that. And you see, you can't see that tail at all. And you want to do the same thing with your tail from the beginning. Excuse me, from the beginning. Trim it a little bit. Take your crochet hook. Weave it into your project so you can't see it. And there you go. You have an ear warmer. Now let's see if this will fit my head. Please ignore my horrid hat hair. And then you would just put it on like you would a hat. And you have a finished ear warmer. Because I know some people don't like to wear hats because it messes up your hair. So you have this really cute, really simple alternative. So that's how you do that, guys. If you use a thinner yarn than the Bernat baby blanket, you'll want to use more than one strand. You'll want to use two together, like if you use normal Red Heart yarn, because that's pretty thick. So that's it for this tutorial, guys. Please let me know what you thought. Constructive criticism is always welcome. I don't want you to completely dog me or anything, but constructive criticism is appreciated. Bye, guys.